What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Friday, August 23rd, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 16:38 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East, from Europe, and from here in the US. So we currently have US nuclear forces on high alert. And 2 days ago on Wednesday, we had a bunch of Skymaster messages broadcasted by U.S. nuclear forces. And if you don't know what a Skymaster message is, that's one of the highest priority messages transmitted to U.S. nuclear assets, including bombers, submarines, and silos. So on Wednesday, all day, we heard dozens of these high priority nuclear attack options broadcasted to our bombers and to our submarines. They were broadcasting 4-character messages, which are arming codes. Now, today, we have a presidential Doomsday Plane that took off from Colorado Springs, which is where Cheyenne Mountain Doomsday Bunker is located. And it looped around Nevada and California early this morning, and it came back and landed at Colorado Springs. Now, this is very concerning. What this means is that we have a VIP in Colorado Springs for some reason, and late last night and early this morning, they put this VIP on the Doomsday Plane and put the Doomsday Plane in the air, and it circled around, and then it came back and landed. So there might have been some type of a threat last night, or maybe something was about to go down, so they put the VIP into the air on the Doomsday Plane. And the reason why they put a VIP on a Doomsday Plane is that it's actually safer for the VIP to be on the Doomsday Plane. I'm talking about the president, the vice president, or the Secretary of Defense. And the reason why it's safer to be in the air is that most of our doomsday bunkers are already known by our enemies, so they can target those doomsday bunkers with direct hits with earth-penetrating warheads. So if the president, the vice president, or the Secretary of Defense are in the air, they're immune to strikes, okay? So in the event of a nuclear war, the president would go up into the air on this plane, and he would command the entire U.S. military, including our nuclear arsenal, from the air. And these planes are hardened to withstand EMPs, and they also have active countermeasures in case they come under attack by enemy forces, enemy fighter jets, or enemy missiles. If they try to shoot one of these doomsday planes down, And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing their most aggressive discount yet on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithNYPrepper.com. They've lowered the price of their 3-month food supply from $800 down to $500. 3 months of emergency food for $500. That is a really good deal, and it will last you 25 years because it is freeze-dried, and it's all packed within 6 rugged, water-resistant buckets. So you have all that food in a small package. You can store that pretty much anywhere, and you can also take it with you. If you have to bug out, you can throw that in your vehicle easily. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get $300 off the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, $500 for it. Also, they have free shipping and handling included. In addition to the 3-month supply, they also have a general store. And to get to their general store, you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see the My Patriot Supply logo at the very bottom of the page. You click on that, and it'll take you to their general store, and they have all kinds of discounts. And to get the deals, you got to use my link, preparewithNYPrepper.com, and I'll leave the link in the description below this video. They have active and passive countermeasures. So this is very serious, okay? A presidential Doomsday Plane scrambled into the air last night from Colorado Springs, which is where Cheyenne Mountain and NORAD are located. And here's another look at this Doomsday Plane. You can see it coming back to Colorado Springs. This is when it took off, and it turned its transponder off, or it lost reception somewhere in central California, and then it went back to Colorado Springs. So very, very concerning. And today we have 3 B-52 nuclear bombers airborne, guys. This is a lot, and they were airborne since earlier this morning, which is pretty unusual. They usually don't come up that early in the morning. And one of them actually got aerially refueled, which is very unusual to refuel a B-52 over the continental United States. Is very, very strange. And we also have this nuclear war command and control plane up in the air right now. And here we have some pictures that were provided to me by a subscriber showing one of these B-52s flying over the Missouri area. And this subscriber actually lives right where these B-52s were flying over and getting aerially refueled, so he was able to take some pictures. Now, I don't know if this is a B-52. It's hard to tell. This looks like an aerial refueler. Yeah, that's an aerial refueler. Okay, that's one of the refuelers that refueled the B-52. But then here you can see the B-52 in the back and the aerial refueler in the front. Okay, so amazing pictures here by one of my subscribers. Big thanks to him. And in addition to this, we do have some evidence that there could be a Russian sub or Chinese sub off the coast of Texas. So last night we had this P-8 Poseidon sub hunter that was doing loops for hours off the coast of Corpus Christi and up to Galveston, but it really spent a lot of its time off of the coast of Corpus Christi. So there could be Russian subs in this area, Russian recon subs. You know, Russia has these mini reconnaissance subs. They're very small, and they can use them to keep track of the activity of our Navy. They can send these tiny recon drones to our ports, to our naval bases, okay? But this is very, very unusual and very, very concerning. And we also had a P-8 Poseidon off the coast of Virginia Beach at the same time. Okay, here's the one that was off the coast of Virginia Beach, way out there. It looks like 200 or 300 miles offshore. This is very unusual, so something's definitely going on. And we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia. Apparently, the first unit of the Rostov nuclear power plant was turned off at 15:34 Moscow time due to a defect found in the turbine generator. So if you remember, like a month or two ago, I reported that they had to do an emergency shutdown of one of the reactors at this power plant a month or two ago. Well, now they had to shut down another reactor due to a defect in the turbine generator. So this is very, very concerning. And the Chinese embassy in Kyiv is urging its citizens to avoid traveling to Ukraine over the weekend due to fears of massive Russian attacks on Ukraine's Independence Day this Saturday. So it could kick off tonight. Okay, Russia could launch a massive strike on Ukraine as soon as tonight, because remember the time difference, okay? Ukraine is 7 hours ahead of us here in the eastern U.S., so it's actually already like midnight right now. So we have to be on high alert this weekend. It's very possible Russia could do something crazy. We know that Putin is planning his revenge for Ukraine's operation in Kursk, which is still ongoing. The Ukrainians are continuing to take villages in Russia and conquer large areas of Russia. They're going to be going into the Bryansk Oblast next, which is on the border of Belarus. So Putin is definitely planning something, and I'm very concerned that Putin could nuke Ukraine as soon as tomorrow or today, and potentially or possibly sometime this fall before the change of presidents occurs, okay? So we have to be on high alert, and the Pentagon reported that Ukraine has not informed them of the size of the buffer zone that Ukraine plans to impose in Kursk, supposedly. And the IAEA director, Rafael Grossi, says that Russia informed them of the discovery of a drone fragment at the Kursk nuclear power plant. Now, next week, the IAEA director is going to be visiting the Kursk power plant. Okay, so Russia claims to have found Ukrainian drone fragments near the Kursk power plant, and Russia has already started digging trenches around the Kursk nuclear power plant. And based on what I've seen, the pictures of these trenches, they look like infantry trenches, not anti-vehicle trenches, okay? So Russia is very concerned that Ukraine is going to try to take the Kursk nuclear power plant. And a NATO airbase in Germany went on high alert last night due to a quote-unquote potential threat. All non-essential staff were sent home. This is the Gelsenkirchen base in Germany, okay? Went on high alert due to some potential threat. And German prosecutors are opening a probe into Russian drone incursions into German airspace over critical infrastructure in northern Germany. So what you're looking at here is a picture of one of these drones that Russia sent into northern Germany, just north of Hamburg, where Germany has various types of power plants and substations and critical infrastructure. And apparently these drones came from Kaliningrad. So Russia is literally violating the airspace of a NATO country, sending these tiny reconnaissance drones into German airspace, okay? This is how serious the situation is. Do you know why Russia's doing that? They're doing that because they want to know which areas of Germany to strike in the coming months when World War III kicks off. They want to be able to strike the critical infrastructure in Germany to shut the power down and cripple their economy and create panic and chaos in Germany when World War III breaks out. Okay, now 2 days ago I reported that in northern Poland, close to the border of Kaliningrad, which is a Russian province, there was some kind of unknown object that was found in the forest that had Russian writing on it. Okay, so possibly some kind of Russian reconnaissance object was sent into Poland, and a Ukrainian Navy Neptune cruise missile successfully struck a Russian ferry carrying fuel tanks in the Kavkaz port near Kerch yesterday. And prisoners at a Russian penal colony in the Volgograd region of Russia, formerly known as Stalingrad, have taken the prison guards hostage, and now the Russian special forces have stormed this penal colony to try to restore order there. And Poland is currently negotiating another contract with South Korea for the purchase of another large batch of K2 Black Panther main battle tanks. Last year, Poland ordered over 1,000 K2 tanks and 300 South Korean HIMARS with South Korean ATACMS. So Poland is very concerned about World War III. They're purchasing another massive batch of tanks, and Poland is on its way to becoming the most powerful conventional military in Europe. And we have some massive reconnaissance going on off the coast of Crimea today. Here we have a reconnaissance plane operated by the UK that was flying parallel to the west coast of Crimea, probably picking up information on where Russian bases and forces are located in western Crimea, and they're sending that information to the Ukrainians. So it's very likely that we could see a strike on Crimea in the coming hours. There was also a P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter in the air as well. And we had a Polish border guard plane patrolling one area of the Polish-Belarus border very heavily last night. So this is in east central Poland, close to the city of Brest in Belarus, and it was just going back and forth in this one area here, about maybe just a few miles wide, just going east to west, east to west. And I do have a map showing all of the Belarusian military locations and secret bases. And there are some barracks here and maybe some air defense sites a little further northeast of where this Polish border guard plane was, but nothing immediate here. But definitely it was keeping an eye on this area here just north of Brest in Belarus. So something's brewing if it was flying like this in this area for so long. And yesterday, the volcano in Iceland erupted for like the fourth or fifth time. This is the Sund volcano. This one has been erupting for the past few months. You can see this giant crack here and all of the lava pouring out of it. This crack is 4 kilometers wide and continues to grow. And there is a city nearby, as you can see in this picture. And I want to show you guys a concerning flight that I found earlier this afternoon. Here we have a U.S. AWACS plane that was looping in the eastern Mediterranean, and I have never seen on the flight tracker one of these AWACS planes doing a loop like this near Cyprus. Okay, this is clearly a sign that something is about to go down. If they're looping like this, what they're doing is they're keeping an eye on the airspace in this whole area and tracking projectiles, okay? So it's very possible that Iran and Russia could time their attacks at the same time. So it's possible that tonight or this weekend, Russia is going to launch a massive attack on Ukraine, possibly nuking Ukraine. And at the same time, Iran could launch massive attacks on Israel, and this would cause chaos amongst the U.S. military, okay? But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be in and out of the 24/7 live stream the rest of this evening, but I probably won't be able to do an update tonight unless something really crazy happens. If things kick off, then of course I will go live and update you guys live. And I also want to remind you guys that in just about 2 weeks, I'm going to be going away to Poland. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks over there in mid-September. I won't be able to do these daily updates while I'm there, but I will have my 24/7 stream set up from my hotel, so at least you can pop into that stream and I will be able to communicate with you guys throughout the day when I'm over there. But these daily updates are going to be difficult to do, so I just wanted to let you guys know that. But until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.